friends, my name is Jen. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you my February TBR. Now, unfortunately, a couple of these books are actually rollovers from January, because my TBR kind of went a little bit off the rails in January. I did read, I'm not done reading, but at the moment, at the filming of this video, I have not finished reading, but I'm at 8 books. And some of them were supposed to be on February's TBR, and they got moved to January's TBR, so some of January's TBR got moved into February. So here we are. I've got 7 books, and the shortest one is 416 pages. So wish me luck. The first book that is a rollover from January is The Bladed Self by Joe Abercrombie. I am going to be reading this. I'm going to be reading this along with the Catch Up Book Club, who is reading this whole series. This is a grimdark fantasy, and that is literally all I really know about it. I'm very intrigued. Again, one of the goals for the year was to read more adult fantasy, and I have I'm going to try to split this up by weeks, because I was supposed to have 2 months to read this, and I didn't get to it. So I might also grab the audiobook just to make my life a little bit easier for me, but I don't know anything about this, but I am really excited to actually start this and see if I actually enjoy it, and hopefully get to read along with everyone else for the rest of the year. It's a year and a half. Another rollover is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a fantasy romance that follows Poppy, who is the maiden and is basically secluded, cannot be touched or seen or really interacted with at all, because she must remain pure for her ascension, which is this secretive thing. And all of that kind of gets put into jeopardy when she meets Hawk, the guy who is assigned to be her new personal guard. And a little bit of a romance ensues, and then a lot of other weird things happen. I enjoy this series. I am not caught up, so I'll be rereading this along with Hannah from Hannah Blackwell, and a couple other booktubers. I'll link whoever I can grab below. But they are reading one of these a month leading up to the new book in July. And I was planning on rereading them anyway, so what a perfect excuse. Along the same lines, I'll be reading Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. This is book 2. Not much else to say about that. I will probably read From Blood and Ash pretty soon into the month, because it's technically January's book, and then read this probably closer to the end of the month, so there's a little bit of a break. But again, very excited to get back into this world. Another rollover is Chain of Iron by Cassandra. I can never remember which one is book 2. Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. This is book 2 in the Last Hours trilogy that follow the descendants of all of the characters from the Infernal Devices series, as they are kind of dealing with the next big thing in the Shadowhunter history, the next big war in the Shadowhunter history. I adore everything Cassandra Clare writes. I am very excited to read this. And I'm also excited to read Chain of Iron. Can't ever remember what it is. It's the last book in the Last Hour series. Comes out in 2 days. So hopefully I will get to it relatively soon. I'm very excited. Very, very excited to finish another Shadowhunter trilogy, and I believe there's only one left. And I am ready for all of it. Next we have the Shadows of the Lost. What is this book called? Hold on. Next we have Shadows of the Lost by Maxim M. Martineau. This is the first book in the Guild of Night series. This is a spin-off of her Beast Charmer series that I really, really, really enjoyed and really loved. There's a really great found family aspect in there, and there's a really great romance in there, but in the background of there is also cost and gauge. And I don't know that it's in the synopsis, but this all happens in that in the kind of the background of the other series. But in that series, there's these things called Beast Charmers, and they're basically, they control these Pokemon. Think Pokemon. I think that's the best way I can even think about it. And there's also this guild of assassins that are people who died, and they come back as these notorious assassins. And in the first series, Gage is involved in some, I think it was just a battle or an attack or something. I cannot remember. It's been a minute. And he dies. And he is brought back to life by Cost, who is part of this guild hunter. And when he's brought back to life, he's kind of cut off from his beasts and basically the life that he's built for himself. I don't know exactly. Hold on. We're consulting Goodreads, because all I know is that this book is going to be angsty and I cannot wait. So what I've decided to do for this, I'm just going to read you what the description says on Goodreads, and hopefully it will make sense to you. As a member of the Charmers Council, Gage is able to form lasting bonds with the magical beasts of his world. At least he used to be as a charmer, until he died and was brought back to life by one of the immortal assassins of the crew, which is the assassin guild that I was talking about. Now he's far more dangerous. As leaders of the assassins, all Cost can do is watch as Gage struggles with his new life day by day. He wants nothing more than to ease Gage's suffering. Yet how can he when they both know he's the one responsible? So there's nothing left but bitter memories and hopeless longing between them. Yet when Gage is lost to the Shadow Realm, Cost is the only one with any chance of bringing him back, if they can learn to trust and perhaps love each other again. I've been waiting for this one for a long time. It's going to be so angsty, and the more I hear other people talk about this, the more that I am very, very interested. So I have an arc. This comes out in June, I believe, and I have an arc of this, so I'm going to be reading this in February. Also, forgot to mention, I feel like I should have mentioned that this is a very fantasy romance heavy TBR. Like, entirely. And finally, the next big ginormous book on this list is Blood Mercy by Vela Roth. I don't know a ton about this. I know it potentially involves vampires. And I'm going to go into this kind of blind. This is the Alpha Ho book club pick, which is Becca from Back in the Books Patreon book club that reads fantasy romance, and I am excited to read this, even though this book is massive. I think we have 2 months to read this one, so I'm at least going to start it in February, and hopefully we get through a lot of it. I really hope I enjoy it. I did, the last series was the Four Horsemen series by Laura Thalassa, and I did not enjoy Pestilence and never continued the series, so I'm really hoping that I am really invested in this one. If you are curious, all of these books add up to 4,246 pages, and the average book length for all of them is 607. Clearly I'm going for optimism in 2023 because my TBRs are out of control, and but apparently I seem to be pulling it off. So we'll see how this goes. Comment down below and let me know what you're reading in February, and if you have also gotten a little too ambitious with your TBR. If you've got any of these books on your TBR as well, I would love to hear about it. Please like this video if you have liked it, and subscribe if you have not already. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.